Hi, this is Dan from Arboreal Systems, and today I want to take a few minutes to go over the features of our latest power distribution product called the Apogee. We've been working on this for a while, and it's now ready for prime time. We will be offering the Apogee in addition to the neutrino element and the neutrino aurora, as the products have sort of different purposes. The Apogee differentiates itself from the neutrino products largely based on the ability to have a greater level of interaction with the host vehicle electronics and expandability. So I'll go through these features in a little bit of detail here so you get a better sense of what this thing can do. So size-wise, the Apogee is exactly the same as the neutrino. It's small, it's 2 inches by 3 inches for the main body, plus the connectors. It's similarly weatherproof and ruggedized, and it continues to be made in the United States. As you can see, there are some substantial differences, though. One that's very obvious is the connection scheme. There are still 6 connectors, circuits that can be powered by an Apogee, but now we use, instead of the screw terminals, we're now using these hand-operated terminals, which just make it a little bit easier to attach and disconnect devices being powered. And then there's a whole other set of smaller connectors here, and these are for all the data connections, of which there are many. So I'll talk about those more in a second. As for the rest, the hookup is very similar to the neutrino, the only difference being that the Apogee doesn't have a ground bus. That's something that will be external to the unit. It also doesn't have a battery charger input. Otherwise, it uses a very familiar scheme, with the exception of the fact that it has 2 temperature probes rather than 1, which allows you greater flexibility in monitoring and acting on various temperatures. So the really big thing with Apogee, as I said before, is that it has greater interconnection capability than the neutrino, and it's expandable. As far as the interconnection side, as you can see, there are a number of connectors here, and these allow for basically 2 types of connection. One is similar to the neutrino relay input, where you can monitor a 12-volt nominal circuit on the host vehicle and configure the Apogee to act based on the status of one of those. But unlike the neutrino, the Apogee has 6 of these, one of them that can actually have a variable voltage set. So instead of having 1 relay input, we have 6. Allows you to connect up to a whole bunch of stuff. But it goes from there. We also have 2 CAN buses. So one of the CAN buses is intended for monitoring the host vehicle CAN. Actually relatively straightforward, just 2 wires hook up. And we have a separate video showing how that's done. But once you connect up to the host vehicle CAN, and you know the CAN address scheme for the host vehicle, which is information that we provide, you can program the Apogee fairly easily to activate or deactivate circuits based on the host vehicle CAN bus activity. So for example, on a modern motorcycle where when you use the high beams, switch the high beams, there'll be a message going on with the CAN bus that indicates that that's what's happened. We'll pick that up instantaneously, and you can configure any number of circuits to activate or deactivate based on the high beams, or left turn signal, or right turn signal, or front brake, or rear brake, or neutral, or gear position, the list just goes on and on and on for various vehicles. All modern vehicles, almost all modern vehicles, are using CAN bus. So this really allows you to hook up to any modern vehicle and activate any number of Apogee circuits based on activity on the host vehicle CAN bus. Unlike some other products out there, Apogee you don't have to buy an Apogee for a specific vehicle. Apogee is universal. We trust you with the ability to program this thing. The user interface is easy, and you are able to program any activity you want into this thing. You can move it from vehicle to vehicle, and it'll work just as well on your motorcycle or your RV or your van, your boat. It's universal. So it gives you a tremendous amount of flexibility. So in terms of being able to activate Apogee circuits based on external inputs, we've got 6 relay inputs, and we've got CAN activity. Then the Apogee is also an expandable system. So whereas the neutrino was really intended to be used as a single unit to control 6 circuits, Apogee can be linked together via a separate CAN bus for a total of 8 Apogees, or 48 circuits. That's a pretty big system, and we think that that'll work out really well for van conversions, for boats, and for other applications where more than 6 circuits are required. So connecting up a string of Apogees is actually quite easy. We provide all the cabling to do that. And so you can buy a single Apogee, which includes the radio to communicate with the phone, or you can buy subsequent Apogees, which sell for a little bit less. They'll allow you to grow your system to as many as you want. So the Apogee is a super flexible system that has all of the smarts of the neutrino, including all the circuit automation that the neutrino does. And it adds to that just a huge amount of interconnect capability, plus the ability to scale the system to whatever size you want. Like the neutrino, Apogee can handle up to 25 amps per circuit, up to 60 amps total per Apogee system. And of course, you can build an enormous system with up to 8 of these connected together. So we think the Apogee is totally next level in terms of what you can do with it. We realize that there's a lot of capability here, maybe a little bit hard for folks to get their arms around. But over time, I think you'll see that Apogee is really the preeminent power distribution system out there, replacing a whole range of products that only do a small subset of what Apogee does for a really reasonable price. So we're very excited to be offering Apogee and look forward to shipping it now. At the moment, we have completed the iOS application for this product, and we're busily working on the Android application, which we expect to have ready in about a quarter. Thank you very much, and enjoy.